Hello there, vinyl community. I'm Brian, and today I would like to talk about CDs. Yeah. See, the thing is, a friend of a friend's mother's husband had recently passed away, and he had this man cave full of records and turntables and CD players and CDs. And his wife, the wonderful Theresa, didn't want any money for them. She just wanted them to go to a nice home. And she asked us if we would like to go and take some selections for that purpose. Now, I haven't had a CD in the house for ages except for music of myself or my friends. And I've been sort of resistant to the idea since I came back into the vinyl world and hooked up with the vinyl community. But recently I played a CD that I borrowed from somebody for something to play in the car on the way home. And it felt really good to be able to hold on to something physical and play the CD in the car. So when we got there, we saw what would have been 1,000 records and hundreds of CDs. And we set ourselves the goal of going through each and every one and choosing ones that we would like. And there was something cool about this. I was expecting, of course, to pick up lots more vinyl, but I only picked up a few things, but I did go for a lot of CDs. So without further ado, let me show you what I got. From 1969, C-Train and their self-titled album on Edsel, jazz, roots, rocky sort of sounds. I've only listened to a couple of tracks, and it sounds like on one hand really good stuff, and on another the sort of stuff I'm not really interested in. But here is something from 1975. It is Ron Carter and his album Spanish Blue featuring Billy Cobham on drums. Always loved Ron Carter's bass playing. Looking forward to getting into that. This was a no-brainer. From 1980, Elvis Costello and the Attractions' Get Happy. 20 songs on this album. And if you've been following this channel, you realize that I've been getting into Elvis of late. And so this is the next installment. I'm going to chuck it in the car and have a listen to it. An album on CD which I've had for many years, or I had for many years until I gave it away, was the mercurial Larry Carlton's live album Last Night. And a wonderful performance of arrangement of So What. Everything in here is fantastic. And Emotions Wound Us So is the last track, and it's brilliant. Can't wait to hear that one again. Let's go on, and we're getting to 1988, and an artist I've never heard, although I have heard of them, is Keith Jarrett and his album Dark Intervals. I've given this a play. Sounds fantastic. Really want to give it more of a listen. This might be one I listen to at home, I would think, because it's a bit quieter. Something, again, I never thought I would have a copy of is Robert Palmer's Heavy Nova. It's so named, apparently, because he liked heavy metal and bossa nova. And it's got Simply Irresistible on it, but I'm not a huge fan of that. And I thought there must have been another single on this which I was familiar with. And we got up to, when I was listening to it in the car, She Makes My Day, which I think is an incredible ballad. Really love it. Love the arrangement. Love the melody. But we realize we're in a fantasy when he says we've never fought in any way. So there's Robert Palmer from 1988. We'll give that a shot in the car. Probably the perfect place for it. One artist I've never gotten into but felt that I should have over the years is Janet Jackson. I know, I can't believe I picked up a copy of this either, but it's Janet Jackson Rhythm Nation 814, I think it is. And so I'm going to give her a chance and have a listen to it. Not only that, I picked up another one by Janet, and this one's imaginatively titled Janet, and this is supposed to be pretty good, so we'll give them a go. We'll give Janet a go. Looking forward to it. I'm just going to go on in the car. And if I don't like it, it'll be passed on to somebody else with love. And if I do like it, it'll come into my collection. I'm going to talk more about CDs in an upcoming video and why I'm starting to bend a little bit in terms of having CDs in the car and in the house. Next one. This is from 1990. CC and the Music Factory, Gonna Make You Sweat. Well, everybody knows that song. There's a couple more on here as well. And I do like some EDM, so I'm going to give it a chance. Not too sure how we're going to go with it. This is an album I really wanted for a long time. Sinead O'Connor's album, I Do Not Want What I Haven't Got. Of course, it's got Nothing Compares to You. And so I've really wanted to hear that for a long time because I know a lot of people have championed it over the time. This is an absolute no-brainer. Back to A Love for Jazz, and this is a compilation of Dexter Gordon's ballads. And this came out in 1991 on Blue Note. So I'm sure it's pretty good. And if I really dig it, I will search out the vinyl for that. Got to take a quick drink break. So after a particularly violent, chaotic, sputtering, spluttering, coughing attack, I have returned replenished. And the first album is from 1991 as well. I used to have this as well. and that's Prince and the New Power Generations, Diamonds and Pearls. Sometimes I think he doesn't put out the most brilliant albums of all time. Sometimes there are songs I could leave off, but this one's pretty good. It's got Diamonds and Pearls, Strolling, Willing and Able. It's got Cream on there if that's your fancy as well. I like this album by Prince a lot more. It's a love symbol album, and I think it basically holds together for all of its 75 minutes. But it's got My Name is Prince, Sexy MF, and I love Damn You. Just a killer song. Let's go to 1993 and Jamiroquai's debut, which is Emergency on Planet Earth, and it's an album I've never heard before. So I can't wait to get this one into the car CD player and hit the road and enjoy it. The thing is, with a lot of these albums, these early on albums, if I see it on vinyl cheap, I'll pick it up if I like the CD. Coco Taylor, the mercurial blues vocalist, has put out an album in 1993, also called Force of Major, on the Alligator label, so that's generally a sign of something promising to come. And I'm looking forward really to hearing Born Under a Bad Sign, because it's got Buddy Guy on guitar on that one. Love it. Here's an album I have listened to already that I'd never heard before. It's the Cranberries' No Need to Argue from 1994. And it really sets the Cranberries vibe early on and then hits us with Zombie, which I think is a fantastic song. I'm not sure that it goes all the way, gets me interested all the way to the end of the album, but a few more listens should be the determiner of that. Here we go. This is a 1996 compilation of B.B. King live in concert, and it's split beautifully up into the early time periods and then the later time periods. And there's just so many great songs on here. And where did it come? It was released on MCA, so I'm really hoping this is the treat. I love hearing him in concert much more than I do in the studio. And this album also came out in 1996, although I think it was recorded in 1993, Lou Reed Live. And I saw this band play at the time, and I think they're absolutely fantastic. I've had the Live in Italy album as well, and there seems to be very similar, if not the same tracks. Really looking forward to hearing Kill Your Sons and Waves of Fear again, plus all the others. I'm a Lou Reed fan. An album that came out in the year 2000, the Beatles' number ones, and that's going to fill a few gaps, and this is just sort of car fodder for me. I recently picked up 3 Beatles albums, Sgt. Pepper's Revolver and Abbey Road, beautiful mint vinyl. Love it. And so it's going to be interesting to hear the rest of the songs as well that I've heard a million times before. It's funny, when you're given the opportunity to dig through a few crates and you're told that the cost is 0 and they won't take any money no matter what you try and do, it's easy to pick up albums you probably don't need. So what do we got here? Into 2000 again, this is Cafe Jazz, and this is released on Sony, and there's some really cool people on here that I want to get into. There's some Dexter Gordon, Thelonious Monk, George Benson, JJ Johnson, etc. That's going to be a great one for chilling out. Is that what it's called? Is it chill out? Oh, more cool jazz to, what the hell? More cool jazz to chill by. Well, somebody needs to work on their copywriting. So I was looking at this the other day. It's YouTube. It is U2. And they never had any complications before YouTube came along, but now nobody can pronounce their name. U2. And it's the best of 1990 to 2000. Has a lot of great tracks on there. There's also a few tracks that are missing, and I'm in the market for Zooropa and Achtung Baby. So when I see opportunities to pick up that on vinyl, I will. And 2005, it is the Chess Classics, and this is a giveaway with the Mojo magazine. And it's got a song on here that I really adore by Rotary Connection called I Am the Black Gold of the Sun. Can't wait to hear that again. What else have we got on here? Sonny Boy Williamson doing Fattening Frog for Snakes, which is super cool, etc. It's going to be great. I know it will. So, and the final one that I picked up on CD was Marvin Gaye in concert. I can't track this one down. It's on the CEL label. Give it a shot. What do you reckon? Don't know where it comes from. Anyway, but wait, that's not all. I know you want to see the vinyl delights that I pulled up as well. And so why not? And I think everybody needs a copy of the very best of Sergio Mendes and Brazil 66, if only for Scarborough Fair and The Look of Love. It plays well. I've had a listen. And the worst thing I think is going to be about this album is the album cover. Not the best. Happy to have it in my collection. Used to have it on CD, and now it's back on vinyl. Another one which is, for completists, I suppose, not completists, but you got to have it, don't you? All the Best of Elvis Presley. Lovely, oops, excuse me, lovely gatefold sleeve. 2 record set. I think it only came out in Australia. And there it is. And I particularly got this one. And it's on the RCA Star Call album. And let's face it, it's the biggest star in the world has ever seen, probably, in Elvis. The reason I really went for it was for Viva Las Vegas, but also Edge of Reality on side 3. Now, I have listened to it, and it's one of those things when you get one of these massive compilations put together, is that sometimes the tracks come out a little bit muddy, but it takes me back, and I love it. So that's Elvis, all the very best. Oh, and also included in that are these beautiful little sheets which tells you who played on every song, which is kind of fundamental. They did put it together themselves, didn't they? An album I can't really go without is from 1996, and it's Willie Nelson's Stardust album. Takes me home, takes me back to when I was living with my parents. And I think fundamentally it's great. I love the guitar playing, but his voice is just incredible on this. And, there we go. It's on CBS. And I love September song on here. Stardust is incredible. Moonlight in Vermont. Wow, what a performance. Glad to have that one. And finally, and this is the big haul of the entire visit, because I had neglected this album forever. And it's Roxy Music's Avalon, as you already knew. And the reason I neglected this album was because the first song I heard was More Than This, and I thought, this is pap singles fodder. This is not my Roxy music from the early 70s. Well, I was a fool, because the clues should have been in hearing the song Avalon, because I completely dig that one. And I thought, is this just late night cocktail music? Played the rest of the album, and it is phenomenal. It's just such a good album. And it comes with the inner sleeves with all the lyrics on there. And it's on the EG label. Now, that's one of the things about this guy who put together all this wonderful record collection, is that as we were going towards his place, we went past a thrift shop, an op shop, a charity shop, and I thought, should we pop in there for a little while and see what's happening in there? Is there any pickups? And I then later found out that what this guy used to do was to go to the thrift shop all the time and pick out records which looked interesting. And he would take them home, listen to them, and keep them in perfect condition. He always checked to make sure what he was buying was in good shape. Now, there's further ramifications for this, because if you've been wondering why you can't see any James Last albums in your local thrift store, that's because he had them all. I mean, there must have been 100 James Last albums in this collection that we went through. Still, it was just wonderful that Theresa gave us this opportunity to go down and help her out by helping ourselves out and putting all this music into a wonderful, new, fresh ears space and home. So that's really cool. Now, I've been thinking about CDs and playing them in my car. I think that's really great. I mean, I could be streaming everything, of course, but there is that idea of a physical format. And most of these ones, particularly pre-1990, if I find that I really love them, I will get them on vinyl. After 1990, though, that's another call. I'm going to be talking about that in another video coming up fairly soon. But until then, it was an absolute pleasure meeting Theresa and going through these records and picking out a few gems. And remember that if music of any size, shape, sound, substance, or symbol gives you pleasure, then who am I to argue with your opinion? I hope you came on this journey and enjoyed it with me. My name's Brian, and you might want to check out some of those videos. There's some good ones there. But until next time, I hope you're doing really well, staying safe, and bye now.